David Benner, the writer of the book, The Gift of Being Yourself, said that identity is who we experience ourselves to be. And oftentimes, our experience is based on people's opinions that often become our own prison. Today, I want to unlock your greatness as we talk about elite level thinking, overcoming the false identity trap. Oh, you know what's up. Turn me up. I'm mic'd up. Join me and let's mix it up. What's good people? How you doing? How you living? How's it going? What's happening? I hope you are doing well. Well, I want to welcome you to another edition of In the Mix. I'm yours truly, your host with the most, Dr. Eddie Connor, and it is an honor that you have joined us either for the first time or yet again. But I believe it's the right time to have this courageous conversation of illumination that we're going to have today. But here's what I need you to do. I need you to hit the thumbs up button on this video. Come on, it's right there. Just hit the thumbs up button on this video. Hit the like button as well. Share this with somebody. Your timeline could be someone's lifeline. Share if you care. You're here because you care. So, of course, I do need you to share. And, of course, I need you to drop some light bulb emojis in the chat. Come on, we're going to have a real lit conversation. Drop some light bulb emojis in the chat. Let's light it all the way up. Let's turn it up. Let's brighten it up in here. We too lit to quit. Why? Because we are the light of the world. And we're going to spotlight, we're going to highlight our particular topic and title today, which we're focusing on elite level thinking, overcoming the false identity trap. Many of us are not mentally fit because of a false identity trap. Yeah, we got to get out the trap. Come on, family, just type elite. Yeah. If I'm going to complete my vision and complete my path and complete the work and complete the destiny of what it is that I've been called to do, I got to think elite. Got to think elite. World-class athletes are elite thinkers, especially those who are champions. Those who are world-class in any specific aspect of their genre, of their career, they are elite in some specific aspect. In order to be elite, you got to make sure that your level of thinking is above average. Being allergic to average is what it's all about. And one thing that we have to tap into is the power of our identity. Got to tap into the power of our identity. And I've defined identity, especially if you don't have my book, it's entitled Identity, Keys to Discover Your Uniqueness, Unlock Your Greatness. But I define identity as intelligently designed, empowered naturally to introspectively transform yourself. Let me say that twice because it's also nice. Identity, which I define as intelligently designed. You got your ID right there. Yeah, your real ID is your intelligent design. Intelligently designed, empowered naturally to introspectively transform yourself. You don't transform yourself on the outside. You transform yourself on the inside. Right? You're not conformed to this world, but you're transformed by, here it is, the renewing of your mind. My mind is renewed to a place of elite level thinking when I transform how I think. As a man or woman thinketh within themselves, so are they. As a man thinketh, so is he. What am I thinking about? And to really break down many of these principles, especially as we tap into the power of our identity and overcome the false identity trap, because a lot of us, we're dealing with a lie identity. You've been lied to about who it is that you are. You believe that lie, and now you live based upon that lie. And then specifically, some of us are dealing with our own my identity. You think it's all about you, all about I, and give the rest of the vowels back. No, I need to adopt God's identity for my life so that I'll understand that I'm too unique to compete. I'm too rare to compare. My royalty demands loyalty. Here's what I will do. I will overcome the first one of what it is that we're going to talk about: insecurity. Come on, family, type that out. Insecurity. Yeah, insecurity. I'm gonna walk through identity beyond just intelligently designed, empowered naturally to introspectively transform yourself. I'm gonna take that first I in identity and talk about insecurity. When we compare ourselves to others, in so doing, we are not wise. I didn't say it. That's what the scripture said. And here's the thing. Insecurity makes you a cheap copy. You're always focused on everybody else, and you're not focused on what it is that God told you to do. Come on, you can tell me more about what somebody said. You can tell me more about what somebody did versus what you are doing. Got to overcome that insecurity trap, because the insecurity makes you a cheap copy. Here's what I mean. It robs you of you. Stop robbing yourself. Stop being a thief of your purpose. Stop stealing your own identity by the low-level aspect of insecurity. Here it is. Elite level thinking does not deal with insecurity. That's the false identity trap. One of those false identity trap aspects is insecurity. Come on, if God wanted you to be somebody else, if God wanted you to compete with somebody else, he would have made you them. The greatest competition is you versus you. You're not wise to compare yourself to everybody else. So many times you focus on them that you never become who God made you to be. Why are you insecure? Why are you jealous of somebody that you can be learning from? Is it because who it is that they are now puts a spotlight on your flaws? Or the fact that you're not doing this or that you're not doing that? Be the best version of you that you can possibly be, and be comfortable in that. Come on, applaud yourself, celebrate yourself, and be able to celebrate other people. Yeah. You trying to think for other people. You trying to believe that other people think this particular way about you, and it's really how you feel about you. You can't walk by faith if your identity is in a place of insecurity. You can't walk by faith in your identity if you keep tripping due to insecurity. Got to overcome the false identity trap. And to a certain degree, it's a trauma trap. Get out the trap. Come on, somebody. Come on, family. Just type invest in you. Invest in you. Talking about identity. Overcoming the identity trap. Talking about elite level thinking. Secondly is discipline. Talk about insecurity. Secondly, discipline. Write down the word discipline, family. Write discipline. Listen, I hated the word discipline growing up. Simply because I knew when I heard the word discipline, I even knew when the word discipline even came across my vision, my eyes, that I was in some form of trouble. As I've matured, I've learned that there's two types of pain in life. One is the pain of discipline, or the pain of consequence. If you don't discipline yourself in your body, in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit, you're always going to live a life of regret. You're never going to fully step into your identity without discipline when it comes to what you eat, when it comes to how you think, when it comes to what it is that you do, when it comes to keeping your mouth under control, when it comes to keeping your body and your flesh under control. You'll never step into your identity without discipline. You'll never be able to get projects done. You'll never be able to map out your day without discipline. And sometimes the greatest blessing comes from doing what you don't feel like doing. I've written 18 books. I've never always felt like writing every single book that I wrote. I never always felt like doing what it is that I knew that I was supposed to do. Come on. I know what it takes to do this show each and every single day, Monday through Friday. It's a labor of love. It's discipline. especially with everything that I got going on. It's labor of love for you, even to tune in with all the things that you have going on. But here it is. You want to absorb that which is going to empower you, and you want to be a source of empowerment to other people. And so here's, as a result of what it is that you'll do, you'll make sure that you're in a place to where you can receive, but also give. I was a shy kid growing up. Never saw myself as a speaker. And that's what I do all day, every day. However, here's what I did. I disciplined myself to overcome, let's go back to it, my own insecurities. Come on. What they say is that speaking is one of the most fearful things for people to do. I've heard some people rather jump out of a plane. People rather go bungee jumping than speak. Rather swim in an ocean than speak. But your voice is needed and necessary, and you got to make a choice to use your voice. You want to get better at speaking? Listen, if you use better words, you'll build better businesses. You'll build better relationships. Go get my course, accessidentity.org/speaker. You have to discipline yourself to say, this is what I want, this is where I am. In order for me to get to where it is that I want, I got to do certain things in between that to get me there so that I can close the gap between this is what I want to do and this is what I did. And many of us never get to the place of this is what I did because we never move past this is what I want to do into a place of discipline. What is holding back your destiny because of your unwillingness to be disciplined? What are the areas in your life where you're not disciplined at yet? What are the areas of your life where you need more discipline, where you need more growth? Is it leadership? Is it relationships? Is it how you feel about yourself? Is it overcoming the trauma trap? Is it overcoming the false identity trap so that you can be mentally fit? But in order to be mentally fit, I got to overcome the false identity trap so that I can move into a place of elite level thinking. You want to move into a greater place of elite level thinking? Family, join my Eagles community where I empower you to soar into greater success and purpose. TheEaglesAcademy.com, TheEaglesAcademy.com. Go there. When you tap the link in the chat, link in the description of this video, you can do that. Or TheEaglesAcademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. We're having a super conversation. Drop a super chat, drop a super sticker. We're talking about elite level thinking, overcoming the false identity trap. I gave you insecurity, gave you discipline. Thirdly, type effort, family. Come on, type effort, effort, effort. We going all the way there. Come on, I need your effort. Why am I mentioning effort? Because you will get out of life what you put into it. You will. You will get out of life what you put into it. And here's the thing. You may hit a few stumbling blocks, but I guarantee you those stumbling blocks will eventually become stepping stones if you remain disciplined and you move into a place of greater effort. That effort speaks to a place of consistency. Life is not fair. I get it. You got to play the hand that you were dealt to the best of your ability. Trust me, I know that. Not fair. To me, it seemed, why did I have to go through stage 4 cancer? When everybody else, when every other kid was playing, when every other kid was being a kid, I'm fighting for my life as a kid. Watching kids outside of my hospital room, playing and joking and having a great time and doing what a kid does. And I'm getting chemotherapy. Life is not fair. By God's grace, I was able to beat it. Not just be a cancer survivor, but a cancer thriver. Here it is. You may have to work a little harder than others. And that's okay. You may have to really dedicate yourself. Certain things may come easier to people than it does to you. It does for you. That's okay too. There's some life lessons that they may not learn that you learn simply because you had to put, here it is, a little bit more effort into maximizing the moment. And here's what I understand. There's a lot of talented people out here, but just because you're talented doesn't mean you got some effort. Just because you're talented don't mean you work hard. And here's what I understand. Hard work beats talent when talent won't work hard. And that's okay too. Because everybody don't want it. Everybody don't have a desire for it. Everybody doesn't have a hunger. Everybody's not willing to get up early or go to bed late. Everybody's not willing to dedicate themselves. Talk a good game. Come on. It doesn't necessarily mean that it pans out. Listen, I could have easily taken a reprieve this week and say, no, I'm checking out from checking out of my podiatrist simply because I had a little foot pain. Got my foot bandaged up. Yeah, even now, even as I speak. But guess what? I don't just talk with my feet, and I do that too. Yeah, put my feet to my faith. But my lips aren't on my feet. As you can see here, I still got a voice and I can use it, even if I got to sit down, which I always do anyway. I'm doing the show. But I could have easily said, no, I'm not going to give the effort simply because of how I'm feeling. But it's bigger than me. And I understand that it's just a couple of days with a bandage on. I'll be all right. With all the things that I've been through, I got a high pain tolerance. A bandage around my ankle ain't nothing. Knowing that things will work out for you if you put in the effort should push you to a greater degree and a greater level. Come on, family. Just type next level. Type next level. Family, type next level. Type next level, family. We're going to the next level. Here's another one. Let me give you this. Talking about insecurity, discipline, effort. Here's another one. Nature. Type nature. Noted psychologist Francis Galton coined the phrase and developed a concept about nature versus nurture. And he mentioned that the ideas in the fact that it's not always who we are, but how we've been raised that shapes the trajectory of our life. It's our environment, it's our interactions that really play a significant role in our lives. When you think about nature versus nurture, nature specifically speaks to the fact that genetics, natural influences, it shapes our behavior. It shapes our decision making. Nurture, on the other hand, argues that a person develops through the influences of people. Hear me, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Association brings about assimilation. So it speaks to the influence of people. It speaks to the influences of experiences and the interactions that formulate our life. So, is a substratum in the totality of who you are innate, or is it learned through experience? I'm a living witness. Here it is that you can have all the facts and still not have the truth. The fact is that your past impacts you. The truth is that you are not your past or the sum of your experiences. Your situation does not define you. You define it. You refine it if you allow it to. You don't just allow life to define you. You define it. Use it to refine you. You got to access your power. You got to access your greatness. You got to define your situation. Right? You got to move into a greater place of mental elevation. Yeah, you may have been hurt, but you can still discover healing through the power of your identity by overcoming the false identity trap. By moving into a greater place of elite level thinking. Family, we're going to take it even to a greater degree. The conversation continues on the other side of this break. I want you to stick and stay. More is coming your way. After these messages, I'll be right back. Our schools are underfunded, teachers are underpaid, and our children are undereducated. Our classrooms, culture, curriculum, and communities are in crisis like never before. Education is the key, but the lock is broken. So how do we fix it? I'm so glad that you asked. I'm giving you strategies in my new book. It's my 17th book, by the way, called Strategies for Successful Schools. How to develop a diverse classroom of learners who read, lead, and succeed. This is a book that's available right now for our educational leaders. It's a must-read for school board members, parents, community advocates, transformative teachers, and yes, for those of you who desire to see our children lead and succeed. But not only that, so many of our young people are struggling with their academics, their mental well-being, limiting beliefs, procrastination, interpersonal trauma, and just feeling like they're hopeless. But what if there was a go-to guide to empower you to be a champion and our children to be a champion and empower them to overcome challenges? Here's the good news. I've got another book for you. It's my 18th one. Learners are Leaders, Strategies and Solutions for Student Success. It's got a 31-day journal in there. It's got affirmations, really a lot of valuable life lessons, ways to set smart goals for success, improve your mental well-being, foster academic success. So much more that is in store when you get not just one, but both of these books. They're both available right now on Amazon. Yeah, go get it right now. But also, you can get signed copies that are available at theeaglesacademy.com/books. Don't just get them for you, but also get them for someone else too. Yes, y'all, and we don't stop. Come on, family, I need you to heed to these resources that you've heard. Let's get back to the word. We are talking about elite level thinking. Yeah, overcoming the false identity trap. David Benner, in his book, The Gift of Being Yourself, says, identity is who we experience ourselves to be. And too many times we're looking at the experiences of our life through the prism of other people's lens about our life. Clean your lens. Get a new lens if you got to. But stop allowing people's opinions to become your prison. We mentioned on the first side, before the break, talked about insecurity, discipline, effort, nature. These are things that impact our level of thinking. Here's another one. Family, just type truth. Type truth. Truth. Truth speaks to this. Who are you? Yeah, who are you? Some of us have a fake ID. And here it is. When you're not yourself, is identity theft. You can't fake it to make it because you'll eventually forget the role you tried to play to get it. Don't cheat the world of you by not being true to the authenticity and the identity within you and of who it is that you are. You know when you get a fake ID? Is when you adopt the false identity trap. When you adopt the lie identity of what people said to you, or what people said about you, or what people did to you. And now you live your life in a place of false identity, in a place of identity theft, because you won't seize the moment. Next, I want you to type identify. Type identify. Family, we're having a courageous conversation. Drop a super chat, drop a super sticker. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Hit the subscribe button as well. Become a member of In the Mix. How you just gonna watch In the Mix but not become a member of In the Mix? Come on, links in the chat, links in the description of this video. Tap on that link, click on that link. It's gonna give you 3 options: VIP, Royalty, OQP. Choose one of those options and unlock our members only content that takes it further and farther and behind the scenes of what it is that I don't share here. What I'm sharing here is just my community service content. It's what I'm giving you away pro bono. What I'm giving to you pro bono. But it's just a snapshot of what it is that you receive on the other side, which is far better and far greater. It's going to flourish you even the more. Once you make that investment, and here's the thing, I want you to type identify. Yeah, identify. For many of us, if you're really going to be honest, we're not really tired, we're just uninspired. What inspires you that you have not identified yet? Besides God and your alarm clock, what wakes you up in the morning? Is there a passion that you have yet still to discover? What is it? What is that passion that you have discovered that you still have not embarked upon? You still have not put your faith to your feet and your feet to your faith. What are you doing with it? What have you identified about yourself? Who is it that you are, despite how you have been labeled or mislabeled? Who are you? What makes you you? Where do you come from? Where are you going? What do you want out of life? What kind of people do you want to join you on the journey? Why am I asking you all of this? Because it's worth you identifying it. Come on, you got to identify everybody else's talent. You can identify everybody else's skill. You can identify what everybody else is good at, but you can't identify what God placed within you to help other people to move forward. Somebody's waiting for you to become who you are so they can become who they're supposed to be. Here's the question. How much longer will you make them wait? Just type trust, family. Type trust. Type trust. You know, I realize this. Many people don't really trust God. Why? Because they want to micromanage everything. Are you one of them? Are you that somebody? Come on, what did Leah say? Are you that somebody? Tell me you're that somebody. I hope not, though. You want to micromanage God. You want him to move how you want him to move and do what you want him to do when you want him to do it. But what are you doing? Come on, let's be honest here. We want to help God help us. When in actuality, here's what we are. We are a hindrance to our own blessing. Why? Because we are standing in the way when God's trying to make a way out of no way. You got to get out of your own way. Come on, family. Just type move. Type move, 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 move. Move out the way. SOS. Scoot over some. You can't do God's job better than he can do it. You're trying to get back at your enemies. And here's what he told you. He told you, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. Stop trying to do God's job. You can't do God's job better than he can. Why? Because he has a plan. Here's what he said, Proverbs 3 verse 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he'll direct your path. If you lean to your own understanding, you will fall. But here's what you got to do. You got to trust God through it. You got to stand tall as a result of it. Trust. You got to trust him. Got to trust him to do it. Got to trust him to believe it. Got to trust him to make it happen. Next, once you type the word yield, type the word yield. Salute to all of our In the Mix members. I see you. Yeah, the color-coded comments that you got, that lets us know that they've purchased a badge. I would that you purchase a badge as well. Yeah. On our channel for change, our channel that creates change, our channel that breaks chains. How do I do it? I'm so glad you asked. Links in the chat, links in the description of this video. Click on that link where it says become a member of In the Mix. Yeah. And you'll get access to all of our members only content. Membership has its privileges. Here it is. If you yield, you'll get those privileges as well. If you yield, you will produce the greatest yield. What do I mean by that? There are two translations for yield. One is like a traffic sign, where you give the right of way to the driver or the pedestrian. Here's another yield. There's another yield. Scripture affirms, I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall, here it is, yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. Let me pause for the cause right there. One thing that is so encompassing and so mind-blowing about a tree is that a tree grows in two directions at the same time. A tree grows down first before it springs up. Why? Because its roots have to run deep. Because if I'm going to aspire higher, I got to have a foundation. I got to be rooted. I got to be planted. I got to be grounded. I got to be like a tree planted by the rivers of living water that bringeth forth fruit in his season. His leaf shall not wither. Whatsoever you do shall prosper. And some of us are not prospering. Some of us are not growing simply because we are in the wrong environment. Roots can't run deep because it's not good ground. Roots can't run deep because you're not in good soil. But it's polluting, it's corrupting your soul. If you just yield, God will put you in the right field. Oh my goodness. I like that. I feel my help coming on right there. If you just yield, God will put you in the right field. If you yield, if you surrender, you'll step into your due season. If you just yield, I'm telling you, God's going to send you the rain. God's going to give you the greatest yield of your life. Some watered, some planted. It's God that gives the increase. And the yield means to produce a plentiful harvest. Come on, family, just type, it's my harvest time. Come on, make it personal. Type, it's my harvest time. The yield produces a plentiful harvest. Why? Because provision now becomes your portion. Provision now becomes the place of your execution. Provision now becomes the place of your elevation. That you're able to overcome any and every situation of your life. Family, this is a great place to sow. I want you to sow where you grow. I want you to sow where you soar. This is where you grow. This is where you soar. Sow into good ground here so that you can produce one of the greatest yields of your life. Yeah, I want you to sow into good ground right here so that you can produce one of the greatest yields of your life. If you just yield, you're going to produce the greatest yield. You say, how do I sow? I'm so glad that you asked. Not as a debt that you owe, as a seed that you sow. Super chat, super sticker, because we've been having a super conversation. You can give a super chat. You can give a super sticker. You can also sow via Cash App, $ Access Identity, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. Yes, you can do that. Not as a debt that you owe, as a seed that you sow. I'm believing 30, 60, 100-fold God is going to do in and through and for your life. Some watered, others planted. God's going to give you the increase. And to make sure that increase takes place, I want you to name your seed as you're sowing your seed. Yeah, even as you're giving a super chat and a super sticker, I want you to just name your seed, even in our chat. I want you to name your seed as you're giving. I want you to name your seed as you're sowing your seed. On Cash App, $ Access Identity, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. I thank you. I appreciate you. And I know that God is going to richly bless you for being a blessing and sowing into good ground like it is here on In the Mix. I believe God is mixing up your blessing. He's got all the ingredients that are right in there. Goodness and mercy are part of those ingredients. Favor is a part of that ingredient. Greatness, love, yielding, trusting Him. Those are all a part of the ingredients so that you can be an elite level thinker and so that you can overcome the false identity trap. Yeah, your truth is coming to fruition as you trust the one and only living God. Family, did you get anything out of this conversation today? Did you get anything out of this conversation? I sure hope so. Sure hope you got something out of this conversation. Here's what I understand. That if you really want to go to another level, you don't just go as far as your dream. You go as high. You go as far and as high as your dream. You go as far and high as your team, rather. You don't go as far as your dream. You go as far and high as your team. Yeah. Teamwork is what is going to make the dream work. And I would that you would connect with me. I would that you would become a part of our Eagles community where we soar into another level of greater success and greater purpose. You can do that even now. Go to theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button. Fill out the form. I guarantee that you will be transformed. It's time for you to soar on wings as an eagle. And you do that by being around other like-minded individuals, just as you are. Be a part of my amazing Eagles community teaching sessions where I coach, I train, I mentor you. You'll get access to all of our Facebook content, private Facebook group, where there's nothing but motivation and determination there. You get to be a part of our Eagles Nest Reflections and get guided coaching and feedback from me, words of inspiration, words of wisdom. And then also, you'll be able to network with so many other gifted leaders like yourself, including having access to every single session that we've done. TheEaglesAcademy.com. Go there and become a member today. If you're not a member of In the Mix, yeah. Links in the chat, links in the description of this video to become a member of In the Mix as well. Family, In the Mix is out of time. But trust me, I'm not out of truth. And so I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I really do want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. And we roll together each and every single weekday, Monday through Friday, for In the Mix. And we mix it up right here on the YouTube side. Hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, share, subscribe. Come on, let somebody know that they can check out this show even after we have logged off and signed off. You'll be able to check it out and watch it at your leisure. Also want to give a sincere salute and shout out to all of those who are watching us on our sister satellite stations on social media. I just got a question for you. Are you my friend? Are we locked in? Then step this way, step that way. Yeah, step this way. Which way am I talking about? By friending me and following me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop. At EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. Y'all keep showing love. I'm going to keep showing up. Of course, I'm personally inviting you to join me this coming Sunday. Yeah, at my church. Yeah, the Remnant Worshipers Church, where I serve as a pastor. I would love to see your face in the place. 10 a.m. is where our service starts. 10 a.m. You don't want to miss. It's going to be a fiery word that's going to empower you and is going to speak life into your life. Every Sunday, this coming Sunday, 10 o'clock a.m. Then on Tuesdays, we have prayer at 6 p.m. and then we have Bible study at 7 p.m. TNT Tuesdays is what we call it. Truth and Transformation. Hope I gave you a little bit of that too. So I'd love to see you at the Remnant Worshipers Church. 20470 Hubble Street is where I'm saving you a seat. trwchurch.org is where you can get some church merch and find out more about our church as well. If I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, please reach out to me. Don't hesitate. Get any of my books on Amazon and the eaglesacademy.com/books to get personalized, signed, autographed copies of any of my 18 books. Add me to your library. If you're looking for a dynamic speaker, why would you look any further? You know I'm the man for the job, so invite me to speak at your church, your conference, your community center, your school, your graduation, your session. Let's make some progression. Email me to invite me. That's all you got to do. info@EddieConnor.com. Email me to invite me. info@EddieConnor.com. And it would be an honor for me to empower you. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand. Yo, brother. From another mother, family. It's been fun, but you know, brother got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy. Yes, it has been beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, I'm talking to you now to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter. Peace and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher. Family, there is power in partnership, and we are better together, which is why I am on a mandated mission to activate 30, yes, 30 new action takers who are ready to soar beyond their limits. I'm ready to develop and deploy you into your gifts and your greatness. Now, are you ready? Well, get activated by joining the Eagles Academy, where we cultivate your gifts and your talents to become the greatest version of yourself. And we do this through weekly mastermind sessions where you receive strategies for exponential growth with self-paced Eagles Nest reflections that include personalized feedback to transform you, to renew your mindset, to empower you to take action and actualize your purpose. Are you an action taker? If so, today I ask you, are you ready to answer the call? Well, great. Then visit theeaglesacademy.com and become a member. For only $24.99, you will unlock unlimited knowledge and resources that will launch you and catapult you into the greatest version of yourself. I invite you to the winner's circle. On your mark, get set, go right now to theeaglesacademy.com and seize this moment.